Number 17.
Nice. So, I'm just going to talk to the camera.
Okay.
I'm going to talk to everyone out there because we are doing a little kind of like a lunchtime concert. I don't know if it's lunchtime or not. Is it lunchtime? It might be lunchtime.
It's coffee time.
It's coffee time. Oh, my coffee's over here.
Yeah.
Just going to fetch it. Oh, there we go. So, happy Fika.
Happy World Nickelharpaday.
Happy World Nickelharpaday. We thought we would play some tunes and have a bit of a chat. Because chatting is fun and nice. So that was Byss-Calle Number 17. Well, Byss-Calle. So we had this idea, I had this idea that we would sit and play some tunes and kind of interview each other in a very relaxed, informal way. So as such, we've not made any plans. So we're just going to talk at each other, having had some coffee.
What could go wrong?
Nothing's going to go wrong. So, I'm going to start with a question.
Okay.
Why did you take up the nickelharpa?
Ooh, so that this isn't an hour-long video, I'll give you the short version. I first heard the instrument played by Olaf Jonsson. Katrina Mackay actually gave me a copy of a CD she'd just recorded with Olaf.
I have that CD.
I think I did 2 of them. It's the second one that I have. And the honest answer is that CD lived in my car for a period of time. Got played a lot. And me being very slow with these things, it took me a while to be like, what is that instrument? What are those noises? I could tell you. It hadn't been in my universe until that CD. And so started doing some research. I think it was nearly 10 years ago, 9 years ago, I think it was, roughly. I had just a general year of feeling life's too short not to try things you might be interested in. And so I googled nickelharpa in the UK, and that led me to, in fact, this very postcode.
Yes.
And I came along for a lesson and met Vicki for the first time. Yeah, I'm sure this was 2014. Yeah.
Time has no meaning, but
Check
quite
receipts.
possibly. Yes.
Anyway, 2014 I think it was, and I came for a lesson, and things escalated pretty quickly. It was that September, I think. After that, I went to Halsey for the first time, and
we had the Harp Olympics.
Harp Olympics.
Yes, that was as a result of the. Maybe it was 2013.
Oh, is this my 10-year anniversary?
It might be.
Okay, accidental anniversary. Okay.
We'll look it up, and I'll flash it up on the screen somewhere, because the Harp Olympics happened the year after the Olympics.
Oh, that makes more sense. Okay.
Yes, but we had the distance event and the endurance event and the.
Now I remember. Yeah.
that was a year.
So yeah, it started with Olaf, and via Vicki, got here. So 10 years.
Wow.
Can I ask you the same question?
Why did I take up the nickelharpa? I was looking for an instrument that I could play and sing with, and I just did I'd translated a song, Det stod en Jungfru, and I was looking on the internet for different versions of this song, and I came across Ranarim, and they were singing a completely different song, same first line, and I saw the nickelharpa player, and I was like, it's fretted. I don't need to worry about the intonation of my fingers. Yes, they've got to be in the right place. I can just have to worry about my voice, and it just seemed the natural choice. So it's like, okay, well, I've never really tried one. I will leave it a year and a day. If I still want a nickelharpa, then I will go and find out how to get hold of one.
A year and a day is such a folk story.
Yes. I lasted 4 months.
Really? So it was just like the right instrument at the right time?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I ordered one from Ulla Plan, and the first time I'd actually touched one was the day I picked it up. Which was something like March the 19th, 2007.
So it was quite a leap of faith financially in that sense. You thought, I'll have a go. Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
And Ulla speaks dialect, and so I remember picking it up and then sitting in the car, going back to Stockholm with my sister going, how is it supposed to be tuned again? And she's like, I have no idea. But yes, and then the very first tune, I'll ask you the same question. The very first tune I played on the nickelharpa was standing in my sister's bedroom in the house. Äppelbourgognord. My first ever tune.
Funny, I've got a strong... You will remember better than me because you probably have a better memory than me, but I think that might have been the first tune I played with you, or one of the first tunes. Certainly,
possible.
Certainly, I remember you giving me a nickel harper in your living room, putting it over my neck and showing me the basics. And I think I remember you being like, "Right, I'm going to go off and get a coffee," and it just left me to it for that. I'm pretty sure that was one of the tunes you left me with on the music stand. So, yeah, Gong Lot from Eppelbow.
Yeah, all the best players.
Yeah.
First tune.
Got a lot to answer for that tune.
Yes, it's a good tune. It's good. Yeah, it's a good tune.
Mm-hmm.
So,
talking of tunes,
we should play another tune. We're going to play you some Vivaldi. It just says Vivaldi on the page, so I can't tell you anymore.
Vivaldi. This is, so for those of you, I don't know, I lived most of my life in the classical world and play the violin in an orchestra. So it's been a very natural thing to want to explore all different avenues on this instrument. And in looking for ways to find connections between folk and classical music, Baroque music is a great kind of crossroads in that sense. And this Vivaldi is one of the violin sonatas. We'll write in the comments which one.
Yeah.
It's one of the violin sonatas that I play on the violin, and it fit the opening movement fits really nicely on the instrument. I've played it in a few different formations, and it works really nicely with just two nickel harpers. So, yeah, shall we?
I think we should. Lovely. Oh. So my next question. Do you have a favourite Nyckelharpa moment?
One.
It could be many. It could be many.
Okay. Possibly when I went to pick up this instrument, actually, I'd asked Søren Orchard to make me this instrument. and it was really exciting knowing that it was there waiting for me. And and that trip coincided with a concert. I've forgotten where now. Pretty close to where Soren lives. Løvstebro it was. David Eriksson and Daniel Hedman were playing a duo concert on silver bass and chromatic nyckelharpas. Just happened while I was there, and it was just a brilliant few days.
Wow.
Stopped off at the statue of Eric Sahlström. Drank a lot of coffee, unfortunately, because I got back to the UK and I think I must have been pretty dehydrated because I had kidney stones right after that. So there was a lot happening in a few days, but it was probably that. Picking up the instrument, I think it was very exciting. Yeah.
It's a rite of passage to go and fetch your nyckelharpa when you've ordered it. I think.
How about you?
Many. I'm old now. I've played many things. I think one of my favourite moments was at Burgfürsteneck a few years ago, where I had told the story of Hågalåten. There's the tune Håga, and it's all about dancing and people not living, actually. They're all dead by the end of the story. But anyway, we play a polska in the middle, which was Vendelpolskan, and because we're playing for a dance, and Emilia Amper got up and so she danced on stage, and I think that was just such a beautiful moment in the narrative of the story, and to have Emilia, who's one of my heroes, doing the dancing whilst we're playing, it was beautiful. And Magnus Holmström, he was playing the devil with a big black floppy hat. That was just such a cool moment to be surrounded by amazing harpa players enacting out this story with me.
Oh, I've got another question.
Okay.
What's your favourite Halsey moment?
My favourite Halsey moment? Oh,
this Halsey is really connected to this instrument now. We 2-3 times a year there are gatherings of nyckelharpa players now.
Yeah. Wow. Favourite Halsey moment?
We'll get back to you.
I can.
I'll give you mine. Okay, this was. I'm guessing it was 2019. It could have been 2018. Is when Josephine and Torbjörn were playing in a concert. They're both teaching. They were both teaching that year, and it was just one of those magic moments. The two of them playing together was just one of those magic moments of any musical genre anywhere in the world. It was just unrepeatable, actually. And it felt like a real privilege to witness it. So yeah,
I think that was the first time they'd played
really
together like that.
It was just
and
it's
they do
so
that
special.
Yeah.
And I know everyone there would agree with me. It was a magic moment.
Yeah, there are too many. I think when everyone's playing together in the long room, so at the end of a weekend, and there's just this massive harpa wall of sound of lots of people, and you've been teaching them all weekend, and everyone's improved, and they've learnt new tunes, and you're all together. It's just that everyone all together sound.
I love that. At the last, so we were both just teaching at the most recent spring harper course a couple of weeks ago, and there's that wonderful thing that happens when on a Friday the beginners class has a room full of lovely people holding nyckelharpas, and by the Sunday afternoon there was a room full of nyckelharpa players, and it was really it was really, really fun and really special.
Yeah, it is. Did you play another tune?
Yes,
I think
I could do with tuning, actually.
Yeah.
Can you fast forward this in the edit? So
yeah, I can.
Fast forward the tuning. That was quick.
Yes, very quick. I'm going to play you Byss-Calle. So we are very close to Byss-Calle's birthday, 3 days away from when this video is going to go out, and we're still trying to complete the Byss-Calle 57 list. So here is Byss-Calle number 40. Byss-Calle. Oh, maybe one day we'll complete the list. It's a great tune. How long have you been playing that tune for?
About 90 minutes.
yes. Not bad.
Hence the glasses. Yeah.
Nice one. So, next question.
How many nyckelharpers do you have?
So that reminds me of a joke. If you know how many nyckelharpers you've got, you don't have enough. So that's kind of the question. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that I have 10 that I can teach with. So that's 10 teaching nyckelharpers. Wow. And then I've got 7 different sorts. So I've got Siena harper, Mora harper, contrabass harper, silver bass harper, modern 3-row chromatic nyckelharper, pitched fiddle harper, and cello pitched octave harper. Wow. So that's technically 17, but I've actually got 3 Mora harpers at the moment.
What?
3 of them. I can't talk really about the other 2 because that's a project that is ongoing. But there's
top secret.
Yeah. Wow. So there's 3, but high mighty. And
so about 20.
That was 20. Do I have more of any other sort? No. And which is my favourite? I wouldn't know. I couldn't say. I would have. I mean, obviously, if I had to rescue one from a burning building, it would be this. My 3-row Hattie, which she's called Hattie in case anyone's interested, because when I ordered this, I paid for it by crocheting and selling hats. So it was something like 427 crocheted hats bought me this nyckelharpa. Took a long time. It was a lot of crocheting.
Same maker, isn't it?
Yes, same maker. Yes, they are brethren.
This one's called Moose.
Yeah.
There's a longer story as to why it's called Moose, but yeah.
We have time.
Moose and Hattie.
Moose and Hattie.
It's called Moose. It's called Moose because I'd ordered it from Søren, and Søren is a very skilled and busy hunter, and that is the story.
Moose.
But yeah, Moose or älg in Swedish.
Moose. Yes. So I hear att du pratar svenska.
Ja, lite så.
Varför?
Shall I answer in English?
Yeah, you could do.
Yeah. I started learning Swedish really for fun with Duolingo, like a lot of people start languages that way. Didn't get very far. And then the pandemic happened, and it was an excellent way to keep the grey matter working when I wasn't working. And I've just really got into it. Learning, I think I work in an opera house, so it would have made a lot more sense to learn Italian actually, and arguably more useful. But actually, I've loved learning Swedish, and I'm still learning. Shout out to Annalie, my teacher. It's been brilliant, and also just to have a bit more connection with the tradition and through the language has been wonderful. And some very kind Swedish friends have sort of switched to communicating with me in Swedish now, which has really helped, and I thank them for their patience as well with my many errors.
Awesome. So I suppose, did you have any other lockdown projects?
Well, right at the beginning of lockdown, I'd sprained my left wrist. And actually, it was a bit more than a sprain. I'd bruised a couple of the small bones in it. So I was out of action for a little while. But I did lots of bowing practice actually, because I couldn't use my left hand, and more on the violin than the nyckelharpa. So it's a bit of a rambly question. But yeah, it was hindered by that. To be honest, the whole of that period, which is now 3 years, which feels like it should be 2, it's a bit of a hazy time now. Now we're back, really back full speed with working. It's hard to remember what I actually did in all that spare time. How was COVID for you, work-wise?
It was kind of strange and also really busy. We did a lot of walking. We're in a very rural area here. We could walk quite a lot. But our old, myself and Johnny, our old day jobs was in online education. So we basically just took our folky lives and went blam, straight back online. So I did a lot of teaching online. So it was...
And you were very fast to do that as well.
I think we were.
Well set up, and yeah.
It didn't feel like it at the time. At the time, it felt like we were kind of late on the boat. But looking back, it's like, no, actually, we were pretty quick. And then we did a lot of concerts, online concerts and Zoom, and also dances, Zoom dances, which we still do the Zoom dances, which is lovely. So we basically toured the States in Zoom during 2021. So we're doing a lot of what they call ECD, out there, English Country Dance, or Playford, Contra.
Oh, that's what ECD stands for. I never knew that.
Yes, and that was a lot of fun. We met a lot of people, a lot of callers, a lot of dancers, and we played a lot of dance tunes. So that really, we worked solidly. Should we play another tune?
Yeah, I was just thinking, COVID-wise, I did a concert with Marit
Oh yes.
For the St Magnus Festival, and that was sort of in that COVID period when things were cancelled, and then we recorded it for an online festival, and still on online.
It's on the World Nyckelharpaday list, I think, for last year. Did it go out last year? I think it
maybe,
did.
Yeah.
So if you go on the website, the worldnyckelharpaday.com website, and look at last April 2022, and you go down the list, you'll find that concert there, still there.
But this is a tune that I stole from Marit. I just know it as Karl-Fant Vals, but I think it's probably not by Karl-Fant. But yeah. More intel as it comes in.
Yeah. If we get the intel before I put this video together, then it'll be here. If there's nothing there right now, we didn't.
We know nothing. We know nothing. It's just a nice tune. Nice tune.
Yeah, a great tune. I have a question.
Oh.
I thought of that during this. At what point did you know that you wanted to become a professional musician? Or did you suspect that might be the case?
Honest answer?
Yep.
I think I found my way into it rather than necessarily having a really strong drive that this was my vocation. I think leaving school, it was a great pathway for something I really loved doing, and I don't think I'd given much. This sounds crazy. I don't think I'd given much thought, really. Maybe young people don't. I didn't give them much thought to earning money. I hadn't got that. I just was caught in this kind of way of thinking of like, I love doing this, and I hadn't really got to the point of thinking, how am I going to pay my bills doing this? And look, things have worked out really wonderfully in lots of ways, and so I'm really, really fortunate. I know I am to be having music as a career. But yeah, I wish I could say there was a grand strategic plan, but for me there wasn't. For me it was, let's say it was organic.
Same question to me. I think I agree. This was the path. There was no other path.
Yeah, that.
There just it didn't occur to me that there. It didn't occur to me at that point. But in terms of hints, I was in my first duo at the age of 8, and we would put on concerts. I was in my front lounge, and in my friend Sarah, her front lounge, and so we would have these duo concerts from a really early age, and I think that really is a hint that that's what I do now. In fact, we're in the lounge. We're not in the lounge. We're in
doing a duo concert.
We're doing a duo concert, but to the whole world. So this is just a natural extension of what I did at age 8. So I think the hints were probably there.
For me, the nyckelharpa is, and actually I kind of think of it, and I'm really quite protective of the way I think of it, is a baggage-free instrument. And actually, ironically, it's quite cumbersome to carry around in the big case and everything. But when I open my violin, my fiddle case, there's 35 years of playing, and it's complex. The relationship between me and the violin is complex, and I love doing what I do with playing in the orchestra, but it's a long history. And one of the really freeing, wonderful things about this for me has been it's baggage free, and in a larger sense, it's not my main source of income. I suppose it's not a source of income. So for me, it's relearning almost how to just have, I was going to say no strings fun. I don't mean that.
Yeah.
I mean just enjoying music for music's sake, and which can be more difficult on an instrument that you've been playing for years and years and years. That's all I mean. Is that the nyckelharpa for me is very not uncomplicated.
Freeing.
Freeing, yeah. The nyckelharpa for me is quite freeing. And when I started 10 years ago, as we worked out earlier, it was rediscovering the joy of amateur music making as well, because at that point I was just doing it purely for fun, and largely still am. But that's been my sort of therapy in some ways. This instrument. Yeah.
They're amazing.
Right.
We've got one more pair of tunes. Brudmarsch från Dalby and Fnykapolskan.
What can you tell me about these tunes?
So, Brudmarsch from Dalby, I learnt them on the English border pipes. I'm a Scottish small piper originally, and then I also play border pipes, and then I discovered that you could play this tune on the border pipes. I now since also play the Swedish pipes, so I learnt it as a Swedish pipe tune, because Swedish pipes are cool. And then we go into a tune, Fnykapolskan, which I wrote. It's Polska, and Fnyka is a dialect word from Jönköping, which is where my family is from, which is that tiny flakes of snow in the air. You can kind of barely see it. It's just really, really minuscule, like pinhead dots of snow that you can see. So that's Fnyka. Fnykapolskan. thank you very much for this concert, for our little fika concert, which our coffees are probably gone quite cold.
Pretty cold.
Down there now. So thank you for watching out there. Happy World Nickel Harper Day.
World Nyckelharpaday.
And if you've reached this part, if you've reached this far through the video after all of our rambling, awesome. Yeah. So that's it. We'll just hit the stop. Thank you very much for watching.
Alles bra.
Hej då.